Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Powerful Women in Business event. We are so happy to have you all here with us to listen to our powerful panel of women. We hope that you leave this call feeling really motivated to take action towards your goals and your dreams. My name is Kristen McDonald, and I live in Central New Jersey. I'm a wife and mom of two active teenage boys. I'm a pharmacy technician graduate and a former teacher. I've been sharing this mission and inspiring healthy living now for almost 9 months. A little bit about me is I'm a busy mom that's been putting others first. After spending the entire last winter trying to battle my worst dry skin ever, trying to beat acid reflux by eating antacids like they were candy, and not remembering the last decent night's sleep, I was finally open to make my health a priority by allowing myself to be okay with the journey, even when it's not perfect what was fit for me. Today, my skin is so much healthier, acid reflux is gone, and I wake up rested. 29 pounds lighter, off medications that masked my symptoms, I now get to teach my family and others that by flooding our bodies with whole food nutrition puts us in the best shape for fighting off colds and infections. So it's become a huge passion of mine, not only to share the power of plant nutrition with all of my family and friends and athletes, but also to really expand and grow a thriving business that allows me to be home while we raise our kids. So if you could type in the chat right now, if you're a mom, and let us know that if it's something that's important to you with being home with your kids, if you guys could go ahead and do that now. As someone who previously didn't know that an opportunity like this existed, I feel very strong about helping other women see that this can be an option for them as well. Now, before I turn this over to my co-host, I want to make sure that as you listen to our panelists share their business stories, we make no income claims, no product claims to treat or cure any kind of disease. So with that being said, Caitlin, take it away.
Thank you. So my name is Caitlin Swan. I live in San Diego, California. I'm a high school special ed teacher and recent podcaster. And just a little about me, I grew up as part of the Clean Plate Club. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, where you had to just eat everything on your plate. We just didn't know any better. And after some personal significant mental health struggles, I started using my weight and my size as a shield. And it just kept people at arm's length. That all changed roughly about 13 years ago now. And I realized that I actually did matter. And I started working on my health, making one simple change at a time. And I actually lost 100 pounds on my own, which takes a lot. And then in 2020, I learned more about the power of plants and how much they do for your body. I committed to this new one simple change, and adding these plant powders packed with whole food nutrition into my daily routine. And I've just never been healthier or happier than I am today. And now I just feel so fortunate that I get to help others take their health back with their own one simple change and be part of their health journey, because it's just so fun to do this with friends. So you didn't come here to hear from me, so I'm going to tell you who you came to see on the call tonight. You came to hear from our beautiful panelists. So without further ado, let me introduce you to them, because they're about to blow your minds. Hope you have your pens and paper ready to take some notes on these ladies. First, we have Carmen Maxwell. She lives in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's a Dr. Sears certified health coach, and she's been part of our company for 17 years. She's a wife, a mother, a lover of health, plant-based diet, and personal development. She loves hiking, group fitness, reading, and staying alert for any moment her teenagers want to spend time with her. She also reached one of the top leadership positions in our company. Next, we have Jessie Lepicki. She was born in Georgia, but now lives in Central New Jersey. She left the corporate world about 5 years ago, around the time that she met her husband. She knew she was meant for more and became a certified nutrition coach and vegan OCR athlete, and made moves to try to help as many lives as she could. She's a wife and currently pregnant with their first child. And she's been with the company for almost 3 years now and has a lot of success in just a short amount of time, also reaching one of the top leadership positions in our company. Next, we have Amanda Van Landingham. She was born in Nebraska and now is living in Hawkinsville, Georgia, with her husband, 3 dogs, and her pig. She's very excited to be an empty nester soon. Amanda is a runner, a certified health coach of 3 years, and owns a Christian mission-based nonprofit called Serving Forward. Our company has been a huge moving force catalyst to help her catapult her nutrition coaching career and nonprofit, as she's using her earnings to pour back into her mission and raise money to build a massive greenhouse to fill with towers, get the tower gardens to Haiti, and feed her local community and pastors in the process as well. She's been a part of the Juice Plus community for just 17 months, however, is moving fast and making a huge impact in her community. So we're very excited to get to hear from her as well. And last but definitely not least is Michelle Howell. Michelle lives in Northern Virginia. She is a wife, a mother, and also a Dr. Sears certified health coach. Her husband is a Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, and their family has had the opportunity to live in different parts of the country and even in Europe, all while taking this business right along with her. Her 2 teenagers are both well-rounded athletes and thespians. She loves to travel, play outside, and is currently working on a yoga teaching certificate. She's been with our company for 13 years now and has also reached one of the top leadership positions.
Okay, so let's start with Carmen. Can you please talk to us about your journey into starting your own business with this company, please?
Well, hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight. Thank you for inviting me to share. And thank you, Kristen and Caitlin, for those awesome introductions. So as you heard in my bio, I have been with the Juice Plus company for almost 17 years, I think longer than anybody on the call tonight. And I started when I had a baby at home. She was just about a year old, and she's actually going to turn 18 next month, and I'm like dying about that. Any of you mamas out there whose kids are growing up way too fast, you know what I'm talking about. But when I started sharing Juice Plus 18 years or 17 years ago, I really just never pictured that I would be where I am today with this company. I just really didn't see it for myself. But I'm so grateful that we said yes, because this mission and this company and this business has really allowed our family to just be more, to do more, and to give more. And really saying yes to partnering with the Juice Plus company kind of allowed me to ask myself the question of, what do I want to be in life? What do I want out of life? And then it allowed me to have a vehicle to kind of to go for it, really. And it's also given me the very best nutrition education because of all of the incredible doctors and health professionals who are part of our mission. And our family is truly just so much healthier today than we ever would have been had we not said yes.
Thanks, Carmen. That's awesome. Jesse, to you, can you please tell us about your journey into starting your own business with this company?
Absolutely. So for me, I never really truly felt satisfied or fulfilled in the corporate arena. I was that person that would job hop and never stayed, any one place longer than a year because, by then I would have been fed up and I just knew I was just meant for more. So I just kept searching for that. Like Caitlin mentioned, I took a leap of faith. I changed my career path. Actually, after I met my husband, I became a certified nutrition coach and OCR athlete. And I just wanted to help as many people as I possibly could and then when I had a friend at the time that invited me to an event just like this one, to learn a little bit more about whole food nutrition, I was, I'll be honest, I was reluctant to join because I just knew it was just one of those things. And I told my husband, I'd be just a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, because I had only planned on getting on for a few minutes to really just to show up and, be a good friend. But when I started to watch, I was really on the edge of my seat and I couldn't really take my eyes off of what I was seeing. 45 minutes later, my husband was yelling, "You said 2 minutes," from the bedroom or from the living room. And, I was just really blown away with what I saw. I mean, I'm a nutrition coach that believes in food first, not using supplements. I could see really nothing wrong with what I was seeing. And when you hear something that's right, and I mean, there's no fooling around, right? It's right. And it felt right to me. And I knew that it was right. It was, based on science, based on the integrity of the product. I just, just by what Julie Herbst alone was saying in that 40 minutes of watching the event. So that's really, what got me started with the company.
Thanks, Jesse. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. Let's jump over to Amanda. If you could tell us about your journey and into starting your own business with this company, please.
Sure. So I am actually, I can say thanks to Jesse. We have a mutual friend who introduced us, and I'll just be honest. I came to the company really through the Tower Garden. So that is my heart in everything that I do. And so I came in looking for something to be able to take to pastors that was able to be movable, and they needed to eat more greens. And so I was trying to find a way for them to eat more nutritious in a small space. And after lots of research, I really just came across the Tower Garden, and then I was introduced to Jesse. And it took me a long time to commit, but once I did, I got the towers, and then she just really spoke to me, and it opened my eyes up to something that I really had never considered for myself. I'll be honest about that. And so I always kind of looked at it as I don't want to sell anything, right? And so we all kind of go into it that way, but I am realizing, which I'll share through some other questions that we're going to have, is it has opened up a lot of avenues for me that I was not even searching for. And so the Tower Garden is what got me here. And they're both Juice Plus capsules, and the Tower Garden are what keeps me here. So
that's awesome, Amanda. Thank you. That's great. And let's wrap up this first question with Michelle about your journey in starting your own business with this company.
Thank you, Kristen. So for me, Carmen shared Juice Plus with me right when she learned about it, 17 years ago almost. And so I had been taking the products for over 3 years and just really loved what they were doing for us, for our family. And as Caitlin said, my husband is in the Air Force, which means we move quite a bit. And my background in my career was in graphic design. That's where I worked for about 10 years. And it was really challenging to have to start at the bottom every time we moved. On top of that, we had just moved at one point this is when I started, and I had 2 very small children at home. I never saw myself as a stay-at-home mom. That's not where I thought my life was going to be. And so this opportunity really did a lot of different things for me. But when I realized that I could get paid for telling people something that I was really excited about anyway, and I could be staying at home with them and doing something else, I knew that this was the right opportunity for me and got really, really excited about it.
Thanks, Michelle. Caitlin, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. So we'll start again with Carmen. So what was your initial vision for this business, and how has that shifted for you since you started?
Well, I absolutely fell in love with the Juice Plus products right away. I fell in love with the education. My sister is the one that shared it with me, and she was awesome about just sending me as much education as I kept asking for more. I was like super hungry for it. It like lit me on fire once I kind of learned about that connection between nutrition and disease. And I was like, oh my gosh, gave me so much hope for the future, and just for my family, for our children. And so I really started naturally sharing Juice Plus with the people around me, maybe even before I was a customer. I'm not sure, or certainly when I was a customer. I had not partnered with the company, and I was already telling people about it because, everyone around me was kind of struggling with something that I knew Juice Plus could help with. And so why would I not share it with them? But when I did decide to partner, my only goal really was just to pay for what my family was using, because I wanted us to all take Juice Plus, and I wanted us all to be able to take everything. So that's where I started, but pretty quickly I caught the vision that this could be more for us. And I started to kind of wonder, what if what if this could be the avenue that I could be home with my daughter, because that was important to me, but financially it wasn't really an option. My husband's an elementary school teacher, and Caitlin, you're a teacher, I mean, especially back then, 17 years ago, we had very much more month than we did money. And raising a family, we were kind of stretched financially, and we needed my income. And though when I, started to really kind of learn about what this could be, I thought, maybe this could be how I could be home. And so ultimately I was able to quit my job and be home with my daughter. And, that why of really wanting to be home with my daughter is kind of what shifted everything for me. It was, I wasn't going to send her back to daycare after I had just gotten her home with me. So I needed to do kind of what it took to make this work for our family. And, that in addition to the fact that our family's health was shifting, and, my greater family who I'd shared Juice Plus with, and they were all getting healthy too. And, some of the people who I had, friends and other people who I'd shared with, they were getting healthier too. Like, it just really was like the snowball effect that, kept me sharing and kept me doing more. And, it's been a blessing over the last 17 years. Like I said, I've been able to be home with my kids since for 16 years now, I guess. And I call myself a stay-at-home mom with a paycheck.
I love that. Thank you, Carmen. So Jessie, what was your initial vision for this business and how's it shifted for you?
Initially, we just wanted, like Carmen, we just wanted to cover the cost of our own product. Like I said, we jumped right in. Because, we really couldn't afford it at the time, but my husband, he was very supportive. He didn't really believe in it, but he trusted me and he believed in me. And, since then it really has grown into so much more. Now we have, some really big, hairy, audacious goals. And even though this is not a get rich quick scheme, you guys, of any kind, this is a real legitimate opportunity in business. And however, just like everything in life, it does take work. I was able to step away from my full-time job and make this a full-time income, even though it's never really been full-time hours. And now we're working on gaining, full benefits package with the company, and getting my husband home from his hospital job after the, last few years that we've had. It's just been awful. We're just so ready. We've really just been able to start dreaming again. And this business has just given us so many blessings. We're very blessed to be able to come, to be able to be home and as we're having babies and be fully present in those years and travel and make our own schedule and also just leave this business and this legacy for our family. So that's really just how it's changed for us and our goals. And they just continue to grow alongside the business. So thank you.
Thank you, Jessie. Amanda, what about your vision? What was your initial vision and how's it changed for you?
So it's kind of crazy because, like I said, the Tower Garden is what brought me here and what connected me with Jessie. And that was really my only goal, is to get some Tower Gardens to Haiti. And it has just skyrocketed from there. And so now I have just finished building a greenhouse that's my husband and I built over the last year. And when you think greenhouse, you think, oh, okay, just a small little greenhouse. Oh no, I don't do anything small. And so it is a 30-foot by 72-foot greenhouse. And the two of us completed it together. We're still married, happily married, actually. And it has just been like so many things. And so now I went from just trying to get a tower to a pastor I was working with in Haiti to now filling that greenhouse with 50 towers. I only have 6 right now, so I have a lot more to go. But it's okay because it gives me, it's changed so much, because from there, then I'm like, well, I needed to have a way to sell that produce when I grow it, right? So then I've started a farmer's market on my property once a month, and I've invited other people, and I've met other organic farmers that are trying to, grow this in the same way that I'm trying to grow. And so it's opened up so many avenues for me that I really didn't even know that I was going to have. And then I'm a health coach. And so really just, I have a Juice Plus booth at the market actually. And Jessie came and I did it in November for the first time. And so she came and kind of launched that, because I cannot be at the booth, even though I was at the booth this last month. And wow, is that just something else? Because when you're running something like a farmer's market, and you cannot be in one space, but you make do. And so anyway, it's given me a platform to share so much to so many more people that I just really wasn't even aware that I would be able to have.
That's amazing. Love always hearing your story. And then Michelle, how's your initial vision changed over the course of your time in this company?
So for me, when I first started, I needed money, and that's really why I started. Like I said, we had just moved, but what I didn't tell you is that we bought a house, but we weren't able to sell our house from where we moved from. And so we had 2 mortgages, and then I couldn't find a job. I think I sent out over 20 resumes. And so our income was cut in half, and our mortgage payments were more than doubled. And I really needed to contribute to our family income. And like, we were having to get rid of cable and things like that. And I didn't want the Juice Plus to go. I needed to cover that, but I needed to make more money than that. And I was at home with my 2 little kids, and my husband was traveling all the time. He was gone probably 300 days a year. So getting a traditional type of job was probably not really going to work for me. So I needed a flexible way to make an income. And this really just made sense. And it's been amazing. And I have been able to be home with the kids for the past 13 years. And now what our life is looking like, my husband will be retiring in less than 2 years. And our kids, I have a 16-year-old and a almost 14-year-old. So college is coming around the corner, and we want to be able to live and give in the same way that we are now, once all those things come at the same time. And my husband's been working so hard. He'll be up 28 years in the Air Force at that point. And I don't want him to have to go back and get another full-time government job. I want him to be able to pursue his passions and do something that he wants to do. So that's where we are now.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. I'll turn it back to Kristen.
Thanks, Caitlin. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of this business. Talk to us about what you have found to be the most important skill needed to have success in this business. Can we start with Carmen, please?
Yeah, well, I really think a commitment to personal development, first and foremost. Most of us don't start with all of the skills that are necessary to be successful. So really investing that time in always being a learner. And, for me, even if I already know kind of a lot about a subject, I always want to have that, open mind and be open to learning more. And that's really served me over the years. So after that commitment to personal development, I would say consistency and having a strong why. So I mentioned that I was not going to send my kids back to daycare. So I was incredibly committed to making my Juice Plus business work for our family. So I was consistent, over the years, even when I had tiny little ones at home. And remember when I started, my first daughter was just a year old, and then I had my second child and went through that pregnancy and newborn stage. And all the while I fit my Juice Plus business in. I touched it every single day, even if it might have only been for 10 minutes or 15 minutes at a time. I made sure that I always had things on my calendar so that I could invite people to learn more. That for me was something that was a really important way. Events like this got me out there talking to people, and made sure that I was doing what I needed to do on a regular basis. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Carmen. Really appreciate that. That's really helpful. Jessie, how about you? Skills you feel are most important to be successful in this business?
Well, I'm glad that we're calling it skill. We said skill because it's not necessarily something that you come in knowing, because you're dealing with a product, right? So if nobody buys, nobody gets paid, right? So that's sales. And most people are afraid of that word. I was never afraid of that word since I have had sales jobs in the past. I knew that everything, but but everything, anyone does in life is sales, right? So you think about like the dental hygienist, is trying to convince you to use a specific toothbrush or convince you to floss regularly, right? So like everything is sales, right? So I knew though that if I felt the importance of what it was that I was sharing and offering, that to me is one of the most important things you can do, is have your belief in that product, no matter what product you have, because people can see right through you, right? So I think that's, the most important thing you can have is belief in what you have, and believe in the value it has for that person that you're sharing with too, and not looking for a sale, but looking for the opportunity to help someone. And what we have is just amazing, you guys. There's nothing, and I mean nothing, like Juice Plus. We've got 40 plus gold standard studies to prove it. And the other thing is, to be teachable, because, this is a franchise. So, and in a franchise, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And sometimes people who come in that are very self-confident and who have that influence and are good at sales don't necessarily do very well. And but because this isn't a sales world, this isn't at all. This is about caring. But if you can be coachable to a system, we literally teach you everything here, you guys. They literally teach you how not to be a salesperson. You can be successful here. I promise you. If you knew me, you could do it. Yeah.
Thanks, Jessie. So let's jump back over to Amanda. The skills that you think are most important to be successful in this business.
So I would say both of the things that Carmen and Jessie talked about, great things. For me personally, I just think authenticity is, because everybody has their own way of doing something. And just because somebody else does it one way doesn't mean that's how you have to do it. I mean, obviously, I work closely with Jessie and I've worked closely with Carmen, and the way that they do things is not how I do things, but I can always learn something from them. And so just being able to be your authentic self and find what works for you is really the best skill that you can have, because it's not the same for everybody. And I came into this really, thinking, oh, maybe I'll do all right at it. And maybe I don't know, but I just wanted to help myself with towers and to be able to have the product for myself. And it has grown into so much more than that. And my team is growing, and I'm not even trying to make a team. So it's when you are your authentic self, people are naturally drawn to you. And so, and I really just think that's the truth all the way around. And so when you try to be somebody else, it's not your shoe. Wear your own shoes.
That's a great analogy. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate that. Michelle, we'll finish up this question with you, please. The skills that you feel are most important to be successful in this business.
Thank you so much. I think I agree with everything that everyone has said so far. For me, we really have to put ourselves out there and meet people, talk to people, make friends. Like, we have to be really good at making friends. And then, we've had to get a little creative in the past couple of years of how we can maybe meet new friends, but it's all about making new friends. And then once you make those friends, listen to them, listen to their needs, and then care more about them and their health and their finances than you care about what they're going to think of you when you share with them. I think that's really important to not worry about yourself and worry about the other people. This really has made me a better friend, a better mom, a better wife, because it's taught me to think about other people more than myself. And then one more thing is to don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like, you're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and then it's all right. You just don't do that again. You try again. And, be teachable. The people that have gone before you know what they're talking about. So if you listen to them, you're probably going to be more successful than if you try to blaze your own trail.
Thanks, Michelle. Those were really some great tips. Thanks, everybody. Let's bring that back over to Caitlin now, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I love all of those tips. I'm going to rewatch this later. So now let's talk about new opportunities and new doors. Has this business opened any new opportunities for you amazing ladies? And do you think that you would have pursued them had you not gone into this business? We'll start with Carmen.
Oh my gosh. So I really am like a completely different person today than I was 17 years ago. You can ask Michelle. She's known me since I was 12 years old. Just completely different. I went from being just a very shy introvert who, kid you not, would not even call to order pizza because I didn't want to talk to a stranger on the other end of the phone. Like, I was not a fan of getting out of my comfort zone. And now I'm one of the top leaders in our company. And I'm just so grateful for what we've been able to build with this. You know, my husband is still an elementary school teacher, getting paid that teacher salary. And I don't want to minimize, you know, because he works very, very hard and he does contribute significantly to our family income. And though really all of the vacations that we've been able to go on as a family over the last 16 years have been because of Juice Plus. And, you know, we've been to Europe twice to visit Michelle. I've actually been 3 times to visit Michelle when she lived over there for 4 years. We've been to New York City many times. We've been to beaches and mountains and just have created so many incredible memories as a result of being able to do that. And those of you with children, it looks like we have a lot of you with children, you know that, I mean, at least for our family, that's when we create those long, long lasting memories that we'll carry with us and revisit for a lifetime, really. And, you know, in addition to that, you know, my kids have grown up watching their mom be a leader, and they've watched me build this business because I've built it. That's what I've been doing for their entire life since they were babies. They've watched me. And, you know, I really believe that me being a leader has instilled leadership qualities in them. And, you know, now that they're growing up, and I look at them and I think, you know, what are you going to do in this world? I just know that the world is going to be a better place because they're in it. And, you know, just really having the time flexibility to be present with them for their whole lives has been such a gift. You know, I've always been able to chaperone the field trips, be the room mom, the Girl Scout leader, and give them a hug in the morning on the way out the door, and then hug them again when they come home from school. And, you know, so I'll always just be so grateful to the Juice Plus business model for allowing that for our family.
I love that. I think I got chills on that one. So Jesse, same to you. Has this opened new opportunities or new doors for you? And do you think you would have pursued them had you not been part of this company?
So this is a tough one because although I knew I could be and do anything I wanted in life, I wasn't really looking for something like this. However, saying yes to this mission has given me an opportunity to grow in a way that I did not know that I needed to. I've been in leadership positions before, and I've also been in positions where I work alone. And when you get started in this company, first of all, the compensation plan is amazing. So they make it possible for us to have some success right away. And, you know, you can do that really by yourself. However, really, if you're wanting to succeed in this business in a really big way, it's not about you. Like Michelle said, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the people. And not only the people I've introduced the product to, but also the people that have joined me and trusted me along on this mission, on this journey. And that's been huge. We say this opportunity is a business, you know, cleverly disguised as a personal development track. And I fully believe that I have become a totally different person than the one I was when I started. And I've, you know, like Michelle said, I've become a better friend, a better leader, a better wife. And honestly, I can say, you know, none of this would have happened had I not, you know, started this business. I would not be a better version of myself. So I'm very thankful.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm thankful too. So we'll go to Amanda. How has this opened some new opportunities and new doors for you? Do you think you would have pursued them had you not gotten started?
Well, I definitely would not be building a greenhouse if it wasn't for the towers. So the answer to that is yes, a million times, because it just wouldn't have, God would just not have placed that on my heart. And so if I wouldn't have been doing, I wouldn't have had a tower. And so, but it has just, it's crazy how much I've learned from Jesse and Carmen, just in the short amount of time that I've known them. And really just like, I just love the Juice Plus community. It really is something that is, it's so much bigger than all of us. And I love to learn. I mean, I am an avid learner, which is crazy because I didn't really like school. But now I mean, I can't get enough. The body fascinates me. And so you wouldn't believe the conversations we have around our dinner table because of just how much like the body. I'm like, did you know the body does this? And my husband is like, normal people don't have these conversations. Well, it's sad for them that they don't know this stuff. So, I mean, just like, so it has just opened up so many doors. And so I love to learn, and it's constantly, if I want to know something, I can go to this community and I can learn more, and how it connects back to all of the research. And so it's fabulous. I can't speak enough about it. And it's so easy to share something when you believe in it. And yeah, that's all what I can say. It just makes it really easy, because like I said at the beginning, I didn't want to sell nothing, but I don't look at it as that anymore. I'm just sharing. I'm sharing because I get asked every day, what is it that you do? And what is it that you're doing for your own health and your family's health? Because obviously I'm working with clients every single day. And so I'm constantly saying to them, this is what I'm doing. And so you can try it or not try it. It doesn't matter. You do whatever you want. So
Thank you. And Michelle, how has this business opened some new opportunities for you? Do you think you would have pursued them had you not joined the team?
I love this question. So for me, when I first learned about Juice Plus, my health was kind of a mess. I just wasn't in great shape. And once I started feeling better, then I never thought I liked to exercise, and now I love it. I like to exercise and go on adventures. I'm in yoga teacher training, and as Carmen said, and she was like, it's amazing. If you would have known Carmen before, she's come so far. It's been so fun to watch. But when you put yourself out there and try new things that you wouldn't have the confidence to try normally, like just putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, doing uncomfortable things is like building a muscle. And the more you do it, the stronger you get. And then you aren't afraid to do those things anymore and try new things. Like you just aren't afraid to try new things anymore. And so that's the biggest thing for me, is that I'm not afraid to try things. And also, we now have the time freedom, or I have the time freedom, my husband doesn't yet. And we have the money to afford to travel and go on those adventures and try the fun things that we wouldn't have before. So that's what it's opened up for me.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you, ladies. I'll turn it back to Kristen.
Thanks, Caitlin. All right, so next one. Let's talk about what you would say to someone who's on the fence if this business is a good fit for them. Carmen?
Well, I would say if you love your Juice Plus, and if you're taking your Juice Plus, hopefully you love it. I mean, how could you not, right? Then there really isn't a downside to saying yes. It's $52 a year to partner with the company. And if nothing else, you get the best price for your product. And, at best, you have the opportunity to really create the life that you want, whatever that looks like for you.
Great. Thanks, Carmen. Jessie, how about you? Those that are on the fence, what would you say?
Yeah. So first thing I say is, it's not for everyone, even though literally anyone can do this, but it may not be a fit for you. It's a good idea for you to know what you might be saying yes or no to make a good decision. It's good for you to find out at least. So if you're open to learning what it is, then you'll know if it's a fit for you. And for me, when I was, talking to anyone about their options, I always share the business, because it's just as much of a blessing as Juice Plus is. And at least, if at least for them, if it's an option, because I would never, I never want anyone to say, you knew about this and you didn't tell me. So I always share. And honestly, like Carmen said, it really does make sense financially for everyone to be their own customer. It's only $52 to get started, and everyone knows 2 people that can and will benefit from eating more fruits and vegetables. And I say, just start, just give it a try. We say, we have a saying, this business, you're a blessing whether you do a little or a lot, and there's no quotas or minimums here. They call it a company with a heart for a reason. And, so you never know what could come of it. So that's what I would say.
Great. That's great. Thanks so much, Jessie. How about you, Amanda? What would you say for those that are on the fence about joining the business?
So mine is a little bit different than Carmen and Jessie. I kind of like going after them because I feel like I'm just so different from them. Like they're like doing all of this stuff, and I'm like, oh, how can I be the black sheep over here? And so, but I learned so much from them. And so mine is not so much of like someone who's kind of on the fence, because I'm just going to be honest. I don't really tell a lot of people about it. There are some days where I think, I should. And, listening to Jessie, she said those things so many times, like how would you, I wouldn't want someone to say that you knew and didn't share with me. I don't look at it so much as like that but I can see where people would think that for sure. But I'm just so focused on what I'm doing that I kind of forget that. So I'm not saying the way I do it is right at all, but mine is the opposite. It's people asking me, like, how can I join you in what you're doing? And so, as you can tell, I'm very animated. My hands are all over the place. That's me all the time. And so mine is like, people are usually just saying, what is it that you're on? Like, what do you take? And I'm like, oh, Juice Plus, right? And so they're like, okay, how can I do that? And so like, I just recently had a friend join me, and it was towers. She was getting ready to buy her second tower. And that's really the first time that I said, look, it would make more sense for you to buy it from yourself. And so if she was buying one tower, okay, maybe, she wasn't ready. But buying a second tower, buy it from yourself. It's better. And so that's really probably the first time that I've really went out and been like, look, don't buy it from me. Okay. Like, get it from yourself. And then we sat down and talked about it. And so, yeah, mine is opposite. It's them saying, hey, how can I join you? Because I'm not good at asking.
That's some really great advice, Amanda. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Michelle, let's wrap it up with you. What would you say to those that are on the fence about joining the business?
For me, I was on the fence. I didn't think this was something that I wanted to do either, but I spent years watching Carmen having fun, and, I am so, so grateful that I was open to taking a look. And I have never, ever regretted that I joined this business. It's been just absolutely amazing in every way. And we all know, everyone can use more whole food nutrition, no matter where they are with their health. Like, we all know people that need this. So as Carmen and Jessie said, you have very little to lose. It is a very low risk. That's like half of what we spend if we go out to dinner, and that's for a whole year of being able to share this amazing product with people. I don't just take a look.
Great. Thanks, Michelle. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thank you, Kristen. So we didn't mention how great this community is. So 30 seconds, talk to us about how awesome this community is and what it's done for you. Carmen, you're first.
Well, it's given me some of my very best friends. And, I just love how positive and encouraging it is. It's not competitive. Really, we have an attitude. Our whole company has an attitude of one team, one mission. We're all focused on just helping people get healthy. So if, so-and-so is your customer, awesome. I'm going to totally tell them how awesome Juice Plus is and how awesome you are, because they are your customer. So we're just a really inclusive and uplifting community. And I think that's really special.
Thank you. I agree. Jessie, how about your 30 seconds?
Oh yeah. So the community is everything to me, you guys. I've never met a better community of amazing individuals who just care about you. Not everyone has an incredibly uplifting, encouraging, positive, empowering community around them. And it's a really rare thing in this climate. There's something just so special about being a part of a community with like-minded people. And it's really cool to be continuously educated in the realm of health and wellness. We're basically immersed with the most cutting edge information. It's pretty fantastic, but also the friendships, like Carmen said, I've met my closest friends in this company, in this community, and I never would have met them. And they never would have brought us together if not for this business. So I'm really thankful for that.
Thank you, Jessie. Amanda, how about you? What's your 30 seconds about this community?
Well, obviously the friendships is like, it's a theme that's going on, right? Because I'm meeting people from all over the place. And I was in the Air Force for 7 years. And so I mean, I've traveled all over. I've met all kinds of people, but it's different. I think for me personally, not only is it the friendships, it's really the like-mindedness, is because I don't know. I'm getting to know more people, that want to get healthy, because that's just, I'm trying to surround myself with people that are like-minded. However, this community, it's crazy people like me, right? You want to eat lots of fruits and lots of vegetables and just all the things that are healthy. You want to try some golden milk, like, hey, let's just jump on Zoom and like make golden milk and put turmeric in there and pepper and drink it. Where else do you have that? So it's lots of fun.
I love that. I love everyone's answers. Michelle, how's your 30 seconds of what this community is?
Well, to build off of what everyone else said, the people are just amazing. And I feel like I live in a bubble of positive people that want you to succeed and will go out of their way to help you succeed and build you up instead of trying to tear you down. And as women, we don't always have that. I never had a community of women like this before. And from that, I've been able to find mentors and find amazing, powerful women who, now I know what I want to be when I grow up. And I didn't have that before this either. So I will always be grateful for this community.
Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, all of you. I want to appreciate all of the guests for taking your time today. And thank you all for staying on here and spending time with us today. You could be anywhere else, so we appreciate it. It's been really great for Kristen and myself. We enjoy these calls and getting to hear from all of these different stories and these amazing ladies and how much the community is impacting them. And so hopefully you also feel that fire. Hopefully you feel the excitement. Hopefully you feel energized to do something for yourself. Carmen, Michelle, Jessie, and Amanda, you guys were awesome as always. We really appreciate you. I feel like all of us want to have more time. We want to have the ability to give more, to have time for our families and our friends and have beautiful experiences. And this business can provide time for you and that additional income. If we didn't learn anything else in a pandemic, we definitely learned that it's important to have something of our own that cannot be interrupted, that cannot be taken away, that cannot be something we're laid off from. And that's really important. The awesome thing about this business is we have ready-made things for you. There's a ready-made website, ready-made product distribution, ready-made community of cheerleaders, personal development, sales training, and so on and so on. That's why it's so incredible. You are literally taught everything. If not, you have sideline buddies that you can pull from. I want to encourage you to speak with the person that invited you to this call because they cared enough about you to say they thought you'd be awesome for this. And we feel like we can provide a solution for you and your family. And we hope that you guys say yes. Say yes to living the life that you want to live. Say yes to having more time to do what you want to do. Say yes to having more time to travel and be with your kids at home. Whatever you desire for yourself. We hope you feel like you can create that with this business, and you can. And I do feel like all of us want to have more time, right? I mean, seriously, more time, more freedom, something that we can never, ever get back. And this business can do that for you. So with it being a new year, I feel very compelled to make sure you understand how big of an opportunity this is. Just see where this can lead you. See where this can take you, but allow yourself to be open and allow yourself to hear from the person that invited you. So thank you so much for being here. We're so, so grateful for you. So we're going to end our call now, and we hope to talk to all of you soon.